Shemai! It's been a little while since the last one, so I'm going to do a studio tour 2024. Oh, it rhymed. So first of all, I say studio tour. It's actually going to be studios tour because I'm going to show you around this room, my downstairs music room. Then we'll have a little look upstairs just to see how we're doing. This is actually the fourth studio tour I've done. And I'm actually really looking forward to it. Each time I think, well, there's not a lot I can really change now. And every time I do a new one, there are a lot of things I've changed. So, right, I've got my little vlogging camera. We're going to start off. I'll show you around this room and then we'll come back to the desk area so I can show you a little bit more of the equipment. So this is as you enter the room. There's the desk. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But over this side, I've got a little bit of storage going on here. A new sort of trolley area where you can just about see the mixer for our PA. There's some camera equipment, various bags and things that I take out. That's a new little portable power station that I do intend to try out with various amps and things. And then going along here, you can see a couple of my cellos in their cases. And there is actually a double bass hidden behind there. You can just about see it in the black case. So yeah, the bookshelves still need a little bit of sorting out. There's a lot of stuff rammed on there. A couple of little amplifiers at the bottom as well. So taking a look at the desk to start with, there's been some big changes here. In fact, the desk itself is new. It's a corner desk now. And there's an awful lot of equipment on there. Again, I'll go in further for that in a moment, but just to give an idea, underneath the desk, there's one little bass amp. I say little, it's about 300 watts, little Warwick. And over this side, there is a Phil Jones bass amp over there. That's the one I use when I'm doing any live streaming and things. Again, I will talk about that in a minute. Going behind the desk, those are actually our PA speakers there. There's 4 big speakers up on top of the unit, a few wires and things in the box, and I use blackout curtains, and they help not just to get rid of the light and things, but they do help with the sound as well, because it's a very high ceiling in here. So there's a bit more storage going on here. Oh, there's my solar panels as well for the camper van. But the big difference is you can actually get into this area now. You just couldn't before. So the main reason I can actually get behind the desk now is this. The Viazon. I'll pop it up on the screen. It is a desk mounted stand and it holds, let me just turn the light off for a second. You can see up there now, it holds a light on there. I can pop it back on. My main overhead microphone is on the stand, an Audio Technica, and one of my cameras. All right. Right at the bottom over here, it's got a monitor. So they all sit on that stand, which means I managed to get rid of a tripod, a mic boom stand, and a lighting stand, so I can get behind the desk. So there's one camera. There's another camera in the middle by there. That's the one you'd normally see me filmed when I'm sat behind the desk. And then a third camera over here. That's the one I tend to use when I'm live streaming, so I can look at the screen a lot easier. They're actually matching, or near enough matching, Panasonic camcorders. Other things to note on the desk is my little MIDI keyboard, my iPad, which I use a lot in here. I have got very decent studio monitor speakers. So when I'm doing anything music, or if I'm doing anything video, I can hear decent audio on there. My Stream Deck, very handy if I'm live streaming or recording videos and such. And then behind that is my M1 Mac Mini. It's doing the job at the minute, definitely. One of my audio recorders, that's one of the Zooms, which is powered by a little battery pack. And then under here, cheap and cheerful, but it's doing a cracking job, is my Focusrite Scarlett. It's a USB audio interface, and basically it means I can plug microphones or instruments directly into that, whether it's going into some kind of DAW and I'm working on music on the Mac, or if I'm filming. Desperately need to tidy up the wires behind there and upgrade this monitor in here. Audio wise, there are a few other upgrades I need to do as well. And talking of audio, there is my Rode microphone that I definitely use for live streaming, and I have used it for a few videos now as well. Very useful. And my nice little iPad or phone stand by UKTalk. So this bass amp here is actually connected up to the Focusrite, the USB audio interface, which means I can then record directly using the DI out of the amp into my audio interface. So I can either record directly onto the Mac, or if I'm doing any sort of streaming or even video filming at the minute, I can do it that way as well. And in case you're wondering, apart from tuners, the tuning pedal's on there, so I don't have to reach behind the back to switch the amp on and off all the time when I'm filming. We have another light up there just above the monitor, and a few knickknacks on the shelves behind, a little bit of decoration, but this has always been my music room. We have a few little changes going along here. I did have the YouTube plaque a little while ago. There's a nice shamai that Jude got me for Christmas, and very proudly displaying my The Uki's 2023 Ukulele Personality of the Year. Oh yes, the gnomes have arrived. Little disclaimer, I wouldn't have instruments in front of the fire if the fire was lit, so please don't be concerned about that. Looking into this corner, you can see a nice little Carla, solid body, U-bass down there. Oh, and another Carla, my electroacoustic, my double bass, Paul Bryant, English-made double bass, if anybody is interested. Few more little knickknacks over in this corner. Not really a lot has changed. Obviously, the instruments in this corner change quite regularly. My djembe drum, and we're back over to the piano in the back that you often see in the background. None of that has really changed, but I think overall the room itself is used an awful lot more now, and especially with the desk setup that I've got, that's made a huge difference. Right, so I am sat back at my desk now there. I can see the little DJI. All right, what I want to show you now really, let me just keep going right the way around. There we go, a little bit of a closer shot. What I want to do now is show you as well how the equipment, the new equipment that I've got, has made a bit of a difference. I mentioned 3 different cameras. I've had 2 cameras for quite a while, but having the same camera has made a huge difference. But hopefully this should all work okay, but this is what I've been trying to get myself organised to do, is to have different camera angles to be able to do different things in this room. So suddenly now I'm looking at a completely different camera, but I am also using a completely different mic. I am now using this Rode mic down here for a minute, and the reason why I want to be able to do that is so that I can do live streaming much easier. I'll come back to that in a second, because I also want to show you this. So a completely different camera angle again, and the reason for this one is that I'm hoping to be doing some online teaching and things soon, so I needed some different camera angles so it would be easier to be able to see instruments. I could even play bass. Obviously this one isn't plugged in, but if I wanted to, I could easily plug it into my amp direct into the computer. So this has taken me a good few years to get myself sorted out into this position, but I think I am almost there. Let me just show you the last little thing down here as well, is what basically I see if I am recording a video or doing any live streaming. I still record videos in the traditional way in terms of having a camera with an SD card and things most of the time, but this one now I am recording it all on ECAMM. In other words, I'm doing all the cameras and the microphones and things as we go, and hopefully there'll be a little bit less editing. Okay, now if you have seen any of my live streams, you will know that they actually look a little bit different to this. So if I just went like that, suddenly that might look a little bit more familiar to some of you. And of course, I can be on this camera angle, still with all that pretty background, and I can be on this camera angle too. But it isn't all just about camera angles. I'm trying to sort of make things a little bit easier, maybe a little bit faster with my workflow. So now suddenly I could be using my iPad on here. If I wanted to show you something with GarageBand, and this is easy, it's all set up now. I can open up GarageBand, fingers crossed. All right, so you get the idea. I can go then and put myself on screen with the GarageBand so I can be talking about something. I could even, if I wanted to, go to this angle. So for example, if I want to give a lesson and I need my iPad portrait, I can turn it around that way and suddenly I've got some music or whatever I'm talking about up on screen as well. I can have me and a guest. I can have several guests on here. Oh my goodness me, you don't want to see that many of me, but just, oh yeah, all right, we will stop doing this, but you get the idea. Right, that's better. I can change the entire look of things just for a couple of little clicks. ECAMM is that good. In fact, what I'll do, I will show you now what I look at when I am doing a live stream. Okay, so I'm going to go into my live demo mode for a minute. Now, hopefully you can see what I am seeing on my screen. All right, you will notice if I go like that, there will be lots more information going on. We got pause and finish, preview and so on. To the left of the screen, you can see various cameras and scenes and so on like that. Let me get rid of that for a minute. But if, say now, I just wanted to completely change the look of everything, just a couple of clicks of a button, I could literally go like this. All right, and it just literally can change like that. And let me come out of the demo mode for a minute now so you can see the proper screen again, hopefully. All right, but by doing this kind of thing and changing it, it just means there's no graphics that I got to make at the time. All right, and it really can change it a lot. And of course, I can have some great fun because I got loads of sound effects and things on here to mess around with as well, and can even go and pop up some little overlays. There's my little aliens, my little dragon, and so on. All right, so that's ECAMM, and that's what I'm using for live streams and things, and I am using it a little bit for making videos, including this one. But before I forget, because I do that quite a lot, I am just going to go back, hopefully. Yeah, I'm just checking my monitor down there. We are back to a normal screen again. So that's pretty much this room, and the biggest changes have been in equipment and setup in this area here. Okay, yeah, suddenly going to 3 camera angles, great. Sorting audio out with a new overhead microphone, as well as using this Rode microphone, particularly for live streaming, using ECAMM software. That's been a massive difference in terms of not just live streaming, but starting to record videos as well. Unfortunately, ECAMM is only available for a Mac, but it is brilliant. Right, let's grab my camera and we'll go upstairs to see what has changed up there. So we're in my upstairs room now, where it all began. Yeah, you very rarely see the back of that door. This is my upstairs room. Again, another music room. This is where I actually started off the YouTube videos. The only real difference around there's little Stitch sitting on top of my guitar amp. A couple of new lights, So this corner of the room really hasn't changed very much. A few new knickknacks. Ooh, look, a nice 3D LED bass light there. I was doing a little bit of work on a bass yesterday, hence why it's still set up as my workbench. A little bit more storage going on over here. We got some wireless devices, some tuners, some strings, bits and pieces where I'm normally messing about. But check this out. This is a Bluetooth foot pedal for turning pages on my iPad. I literally couldn't live without that now. My bass guitars, you don't often see these, and I'll be honest, I don't often play them that much anymore because I'm normally playing bass ukulele. And talking of bass ukuleles, there are a few hung on this wall, along with a few electric solid body ukuleles as well, finishing off with my matching Fana bass and electric uke. And more instruments again. We got some electro-acoustic bass ukulele, some solid body, some weird and wonderful. We've got some solid body bass ukes in there. Well, the Black Star, the Carla, and the Flight Mini JB. So the messy corner of the room, there's an awful lot being stored on that rack, including ukuleles, there's a mixer, there are pedals, there are tools, there's all sorts. I've got a new light, it's the Godox ULC 150, and it is silent, and that has made a huge difference. So yeah, if I'm filming in here, apart from having a second camera, there we are, there's my main camera over there, it's a lot less imposing now because I've actually got a much smaller softbox on the new silent light. So yeah, 2 camera angles. And then over here, it's still the same Tascam audio recorder, but this whole unit is new. Like, I mean, really new, and what a difference this has made. So yeah, I'm just looking at the new stand from the back a minute so we don't get dazzled by the light. But as you can see there, it holds quite a few devices. It's similar to the one downstairs that's mounted on the desk, but the difference with this one, obviously it's on the floor, so you can see it's got my iPad on there, it's got the audio device on there as well, it's got a microphone, there we go, you can just see that, and this is another new bit of equipment, this is another new microphone, it matches the one downstairs, it's the Audio Technica, I'll put the model up on the screen now. There's a light on this stand, and as I showed you a second ago, there's the other camera. All right, so apart from it just being a little bit neater to look at, it's the floor space, okay? You've got to imagine there is just one trolley now, 3 wheels. There used to be a camera tripod, there was a microphone boom stand, there was another light stand, and a music stand down there on that floor. Literally, the rug was just about full of stands, but suddenly now I can move around the room so much easier because of this. It's the TARION, again, I'll put it up on the screen, but this is the floor trolley and it is brilliant. It's made such a difference. So that's the upstairs music room or studio. I probably do have a few too many instruments. I'm going to have to look at thinning the herd there. But yeah, it's a nice little room to work in. It is a lot more sorted now. The equipment is a lot better. But having that new stand in here really tidies the room up. So that's been a fun afternoon doing this, to be honest. It makes me realise how much progress I've made and how much new equipment I've got. And so much of that, I have to thank you guys. Every view, every comment, every subscription. If you're not subscribed, please go and do it now. And also my Patreons as well, making a massive difference. So if you would like to support me on my Patreon page, I'll drop a link in the description below for that. What are we now? April 2024, September 2022 was the last time I did the studio tour. So yeah, it's been interesting seeing the progress. I do hope you have enjoyed this video. As always though, if you've got any comments or questions, please feel free, leave them below. Give us a like if you've enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you for watching.